man. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run for the first time with Justice Hill. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
This time Jackson will throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Go! 61! Mike is a 50! Check Mike 50! 6 man.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Hunt on the draw play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
You better come hard next time, son.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
A run for Nick Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the 39, Jones got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here's Jackson to throw. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-zip. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing, Jones. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Jones. Lets it go for Nelson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Jackson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
They can't hang with us.
Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. And not a blitz there, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Agnew now to return. Runs through the contact. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones keeps himself upright. Forced in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Returnable for Thomas. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return, and the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now Jackson on 1st down. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. Pushing his way inside the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Ready? Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Let's go. 22, jet, cover. 22, jet, cover.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson towards the end zone for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Jackson, flushed out right. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. 2-6. 48. Mike, 48. Ricky.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jones to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. Buying time to his left. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Seibert's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones, that one is caught by Hunt. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Going deep here for Landry. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Jones. Off play action. He's going to let it go. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Nifty move. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And an alley to run. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Jones, a final shot before break. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 10, Jones flush to his right. And this one's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jones operating from the gun. He's going to look deep now for Landry. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Hill. And an alley to run. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay?
And that's caught inside the 30. Jarvis Landry. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns get a score closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what do we...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Jones now throwing to start the drive. And he rifles one incomplete. Landry the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Marcus Peters on the coverage.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Jackson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. He's going to look deep down the field, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They'll run with Hill. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now. Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. In for the score. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, Jones. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that can be effective and get them back moving again.
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Step Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Jackson. They complete it to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
We want it. Come to my work. Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. Come on, D. Shut up.
Jackson throwing again. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
12 yards the pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Kill.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson being chased out left. And this will be incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Jackson now. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 21 yards there on 3rd down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Going again on the ground here with Hill. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Check 4.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Jones throwing to start the drive. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he completes it to Hunt. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Hill one more time. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, I can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones, he's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for Baltimore, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon.